And you know he's got a different fan base because in his fan base, it's a popular question. How do I get stronger without getting bigger? Me, everyone seems to say, I want more muscle, I want to get shredded. Coach Greg, and today's video is on the Bioneer. Are you excited? You better be. Every video people write, Coach Greg, you gotta review the Bioneer. So finally I said, I gotta check this guy out. So I watched a number of videos and I gotta say, I like the guy. He seems highly knowledgeable and gives quality information to the people. So after going through a number of his videos, I decided to choose this video from Adam Sinicki. It's called Hidden Power, How to Get Strong Without Getting Big. Chose this video because I consider myself to be an expert on this topic. Having a lot of strength without a lot of size. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but I am pretty strong, setting powerlifting world records, Guinness records, and so on. So we're gonna watch the video, I'm gonna comment, and by the end of the video, the hopes is you will understand exactly how to get stronger without getting bigger.
How can I get stronger and more powerful without also getting bigger and bulkier? It seems that people want this slimmer physique that belies their hidden strength and power.
So the first question is it possible? Can you actually get stronger without getting bigger? And the answer is yes. And you know he's got a different fan base because in his fan base, it's a popular question. How do I get stronger without getting bigger? Me, everyone seems to say, I want more muscle, I want to get shredded. So it had me thinking, what kind of people are out there thinking, oh, shucks darn it, every time I lift a weight, my muscles, they just get way too big. So frustrating. Every time I join the gym, I get too jacked. My muscles are just too freaking huge. Don't you wish you had that problem? But it's actually true. A lot of people don't want to have bigger muscles. They don't want to look bulky. They want to fit in their clothes. They want to look aesthetic. Or consider athletes, those competing in weight classes. UFC, boxing, wrestling. They don't want to go up a weight class. They want to be super strong so that they can beat their opponent who's at the same weight as them. Or think of a decathlete, a gymnast. They don't want to be large. They want to have a lot of strength and power, but be of a smaller size. Decathletes, 100-meter dash, 1,500 meters, pole vault, long jump. They can't be massive, but at the same time, they have to throw that shot, put that javelin. So they want a lot of size, but they do want a lot of strength.
So the problem with trying to get stronger without necessarily getting bigger is that a lot of the triggers, the stimuli that lead to more strength, also lead to increased hypertrophy, muscle growth.
So the problem is the same things that lead to muscle hypertrophy also lead to muscle strength. But you can, in fact, focus your training to minimize growth and maximize strength.
Obviously, there's some low-hanging fruit, some easy wins that we should focus on first. For example, you want to cut away fat.
So tip number one, put the friggin' fork down. If your body fat is higher than last time, you're not going to be as strong relative to your size. The leaner you get, the stronger you can be in comparison. So oftentimes, men, women, and circles, they complain about being too bulky. But that bulk, it's a result of body fat and not muscle. So if they can learn to put the fork down, eat in a calorie deficit, get leaner, they will increase the amount of strength they have in relation to their body weight. So first things first, get in shape and get lean. If you want to be super strong for your weight, lose the excess body fat.
Fair bit before, that's overcoming isometrics. So overcoming isometrics are movements where you're pushing or pulling against something that's too heavy for you to move.
And can in fact pushing and pulling doing isometrics increase strength without increasing size? Well, by avoiding the eccentric load, which does the most muscle damage, you will reduce that incentive for your muscle to grow. Muscle damage is greater when performing eccentric loads than concentric, and therefore when doing isometric holds for maximum effort, you're not going to damage the muscle as much while increasing its incentive to get stronger. After all, you're pushing as hard as you can. You're avoiding time under tension, you're not doing the set for a minute, and you're pushing as hard as you can. When you lift heavier loads, the muscle is encouraged to get stronger, much more so than to get bigger. Also, by lifting explosively rather than controlling the weight, you're going to reduce time under tension and get stronger. The brain needs to learn what you're doing to become most efficient at doing it. So if you want to get really strong at the bench press, do the bench press. If you want to get strong doing the iron cross in gymnastics, do the iron cross. No one's going to argue with me that I'm not a strong guy, pretty strong, but yet I can't do a muscle up. I can't even do one muscle up. Why? Because I haven't practiced. I don't have the neurological adaptations. I can't fire the motor units effectively to get myself up over the bar. I'm sure if I practice, I could do it, but right now I can't. So if you are a beginner, you are very weak. You don't know how to perform the exercise effectively. First time you walk in the gym and try to do a squat, you might only do 100 pounds. But a year later, very easily can most people double the strength that they had from the first time they did the lift. They're not going to double their muscle size, but they can double their lifts. When I coach powerliftings, people on their first day, almost all of them were able to lift double the weights they were lifting on day one as they were a year later, and it's not with PEDs. They never looked much different, but they sure as heck were a lot stronger. That is because you're able to recruit more motor units, more muscle fibers. If you walk into a gym, man, woman, or circle, and you're very strong and you pull 300 pounds on the deadlift your first time, that is impressive, especially because your body is not using all of its motor units. Let's say you're using 30% and you lift 300 pounds. If you practice and increase that from 30% to 50%, that 300-pound deadlift will soon become 500 pounds. Go from 50% to 70%, 700 pounds. The muscle may not even have gotten any bigger, but because you use more of it, you increase your strength dramatically.
Think One Punch Man or Bruce Lee. So is this possible? Well, the fact that one of those examples was a real person suggests that it probably is.
And he mentions Bruce Lee for strength, but consider other athletes. Softball pitchers, tennis players. These are not necessarily jacked individuals, but imagine the power and strength that they have. To do a tennis serve, female, 100 miles an hour. I can't do it, but a slender female can serve much more forcefully than I can. Or a whip pitch, softball, underhand. Throwing 70 miles an hour women, 100 miles an hour males. Think of the power they possess. It's because they've increased their coordination. They learn to recruit the muscle fibers at the right time.
There are lots of ways we can train our strength. I knew some rock climbers at university who had incredible gripping strength. They would do fingerboard pull-ups with tons of weights in a backpack, and these guys were very light and slim looking.
Also, it's important to train specifically where you want to be strongest most. If you're a mountain climber, you need to have extremely strong grips, forearm strength. You want to be great at calisthenics? You don't want to weigh a lot. You want to be lighter. And if you do a bunch of squats and get massive tree trunk quads, it's going to impair your ability to do a lot of the calisthenics you're looking to do. And I do find it interesting how he goes over anime characters, in particular One Punch Man, who I also reviewed his workout. You know, running every day, doing push-ups and so on. He reviewed him, I reviewed him, so we do have a little bit in common. And in case you're wondering, I do believe he's 100% natural, and I do believe that's why he didn't cover the topic of PEDs or performance-enhancing drugs. If you're looking to be extremely strong but not bulky, don't use water-intensive steroids. Of course, never break the law. Never use PEDs if it's against the law, but if it's legal in your country, you want to use drier compounds, as in Masterone, Primo. In particular, halotestin, which can in fact increase strength dramatically. Going to increase aggression, absolutely no water gain, hardly any muscle gain, but allow you to train harder than last time. But don't take it. I'm just telling you what could happen if someone were to actually take it. Not saying to take it, you know what I mean. Not encouraging you to choose PEDs, but in some countries, it's actually legal. Those people, they can do these things.
This is how you use your body in real life, and this is what we don't really practice. But the farmer or the dad who's constantly on the move is constantly having to practice these unusual positions and strengthen their movement patterns in ways that are more unpredictable like this.
And it's a great point. You might be extremely strong in the gym, but you don't have real world strength. You can't punch very hard. You can't do gymnastics. It's because you don't have the coordination and the training to do so. So if all you do is bench press all the time and you can bench press 500 pounds, doesn't mean you're going to be good at doing things outside the gym.
I don't know if digging holes is something farmers do, by the way. I'm not a farmer. But as you do this, the hole also gets deeper, so you're changing your position, you're stooping more. Then throughout the rest of the day, you might be carrying bales of hay, pushing tractors.
Also, there's a huge difference between strength and muscular or cardiovascular endurance. Just because you can deadlift 1,000 pounds doesn't mean you're good at digging the dirt all day making cement. There's a big difference between being able to lift 1,000 pounds once and lifting 50 pounds thousands of times all day long. Case in point, my best deadlift ever, only 765 pounds, yet I was able to pull 405 pounds for 50 reps in 51 seconds. A lot of people can deadlift well over 765 pounds, but not very many can do 405 for 50 reps in 51 seconds. So if you do in fact want real world strength, it's important to not just train with weights in the gym. You have to do other activities, whether it's flipping tires or using the hammer, slamming around, chopping wood, doing various activities. It's important to be well-rounded. The more activities you take part in, the more your brain teaches your body how to coordinate itself to be ready for any and all activities you may encounter. Whether you have to help your annoying friend move furniture every other month because they keep moving, or if a lion's chasing you and you have to jump up a tree, you'll have the strength to do anything that life throws at you.
Point is though that a lot of the training that focuses on strength without adding size is often overlooked in modern training programs because so many people are more interested in aesthetics.
And as he said, training for aesthetics, trying to look a certain way, a lot different than training for strength and power. You can be super strong, super powerful, but not look it. It all depends on the training that you choose to use. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching, Greg Doucette IB Pro. Check out those bloops. Purchase the harder than last time supplements. You know you want them. Also, cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team. Subscribe and click that bell button before you go. And until next time, I am out. So, ow, what the heck is that? Ugh, it's like I pulled a muscle in my back. Ugh.